So my name is Caroline Oduor. I'm an advocate of High Court of Kenya. I have done over 17 years of practice, having been admitted to the bar in 2006. I have practiced civil litigation largely, with a bit of criminal, but largely civil litigation in matters relating to family law, commercial law, land law, and I've also litigated on constitutional and judicial review law. Outside of the ordinary day-to-day work, I also do a lot of public interest litigation. I work with organizations, and I have been even a council member of FIDA Kenya. But yes, I've been a member of a council member of FIDA Kenya and vice chair of FIDA Kenya. So I work with them to support public interest litigation, having served my terms while I was there. I also work with organizations like echelon to do the same, and we've done a number of cases around public interest litigation. I am committed to our lovely society, LSK, and I make my contribution through membership to committees. I'm currently a member of the Public Interest Litigation Committee of LSK. I also make contribution to our legal profession by way of training young and upcoming lawyers who seek to join the profession. I'm therefore an adjunct lecturer at Kenya School of Law, where I teach them civil litigation. Currently, I run my law firm, Caroline Oduor and Associates Advocates, where I'm the principal partner. I lead a team through which we offer legal services in the areas that I've mentioned. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, when I compare the legal space now and the legal space when we were being trained to join the profession, a lot has tremendously changed, some of which is to the disadvantage of the young ones now. I see them having difficulty finding their space within the legal field, in the sense that law firms may not be as many as there are young advocates that are being admitted. It may not be possible to give that personalized mentorship that some of us received from the advocates who held our hands when we were new in the profession. But in the same vein, I also see new things that will be of help, or I think can be utilized by young advocates to create an edge for themselves in the challenging circumstances. And I think for me that the emerging areas of law, what the IT world has presented to practice today, and continually being creative to invent and reinvent those new areas of law, aside from the traditional areas that we've known, are opportunities that would help them to create a niche for themselves and just be the trailblazers, in the provision of services along that line. The other day, I was interacting with students in high school, and we were having a career talk with them, and it occurred to us that there's a lot of passion amongst young people to be influencers, TikTokers and all. And in my opinion, that doesn't diminish the traditional legal profession as we know it. In any event, I imagine that a young legal professional who is an influencer is so well placed to push for the rights of the other influencers who are not legal professionals, and therefore finding a niche for themselves, to push for justice and fairness in the society, and even just helping people seek remedy in instances where that is necessary. I certainly would go for a united LSK. I think it would be a sad state of affairs to see separate institutions advocating for different demographies in the bar. Indeed, of course, I acknowledge that the young bar, senior bar, or mid bar may have their own unique interests, wants and needs, and there's nothing wrong with them coalescing around the respective bars. But the institution as LSK must, in my opinion, ought to remain as one united institution. The reason being that that cross-bar pollination in terms of ideas, in terms of mentorship, in terms of welfare, is a critical thing that must continue and could continue very well within a United Law Society of Kenya. So in my opinion, the senior bar and maybe the mid bar, we just need to understand the young bar a little bit more, be patient with them, and also understand the unique environment that they now come into, understand that they have grown at a different time from us, and therefore look at the gem, the positives in them that we can harness to foster a very united LSK. Where there are weaknesses and challenges, it remains our role to hold our hands, to admonish where we need to correct where we need to, but we must, I think, remember to stay as one big family. That way, then we can move forward to face the challenges that the society expects of members of this profession. Certainly, looking at the LSK functions, and which may be summarized in my opinion as one, assisting the government in administration of justice, and two, ensuring that the legal standards in the country remain high up there, and of course thirdly, assisting members of public too in terms of vigilance on the rule of law. Looking at those, they are indeed weighty and heavy assignment to accord any particular individual or even a team as a counsel, if you like. Looking at all that, I want to believe, and I firmly believe, that the right candidate for the position of president of LSK is Faith Odhiambo. I say that because my initial interaction with Faith was when we served in the Council of FIDA Kenya. And that was the tenure running from 2018 to 2020. During that period, I came to understand and see the passion that Faith has to serve the people that she has stepped forward and offered herself to serve. I saw her passion in interaction with the membership of FIDA, because then she was the secretary of FIDA and therefore dealing with member issues. Most importantly for me, and we understand how heavy the agenda of FIDA can be in terms of addressing the women issues that keep coming up in different shapes and forms, sadly, in our society. I saw the consistency in her to want to serve and offer solution in the midst of many challenges that we were all facing as a team. So that gave me confidence that indeed she is someone who can be entrusted by a group of a community or a people to do something, and for which she will remain faithful and loyal to. Moving forward, her first term at LSK in the Council of Harvey, we saw what that leadership at that time did to the society. It was turbulent, it was rough, and I think it is on record, it would probably go on record as one of the lowest moments of our law society leadership. But we saw certain individuals, and again I can confirm that I personally saw Faith standing out and trying to be that voice of reason, that voice of calmness, that voice that remembered that we are here, that they were there for a reason, to serve members and the public. And for me, I think that again, loyalty and faithfulness to serve, irrespective of the turbulence that the top leadership presented in the circumstances, endeared me a lot more to believe in her leadership. We have seen her serving as Vice President of Law Society of Kenya. Again, you cannot fail to acknowledge the consistency at which she's been able to deal with issues that LSK is mandated to deal with. For me, the other thing that interests me the most is that Faith, well, she may easily be said to be a mid-bar kind of an advocate, given her years in practice. But I love her candidature because, for me, it is one of those things that would practically speak to the young bar of this country. That if you are focused, if you are consistent, and if you are clear in your mind in as far as the purpose to serve and to do that which is we were all mandated to do when we were sworn into the bar, then indeed the world is for you to take. And Faith has consistently shown that you don't need to be senior to be level-headed. You don't need to have so much to do so much. In your circumstances, in your youngness, you can still do so much. And that, for me, I think, is a loud statement that she's making, that I want to believe that the young lawyers, upcoming lawyers, can see and indeed have faith in themselves that if I do that which I am required to do at the right time, at the right moment, and stand up for that which is right, indeed the world is for me to take. So that for me is something that I pray and hope that comes to be seen as something that will help to give direction to the young people, that they have a chance just like any other senior advocate, and that their youngness is not any disadvantage. If anything, it can only be, a cherry on the cake for them. One thing, of course, if you have interacted with Faith, you will notice that Faith is confident. Faith is confident, and two, she speaks her mind. And that doesn't just come from the physical thought of I can talk, but rather, from my observation, she took her time to prepare for meetings, in the sense that she would be well versed with the material to be discussed. And that, for me, then explains the confidence that she exhibited in exchanging ideas respectfully with people who are so much senior with her on the table. And she was able to convincingly engage without, in fact, at no point in time did I ever see Faith pull the young lawyer card to say, treat me differently or favor me, or, I never saw that. She simply took her role as an advocate and made the best of it by preparing well for the meeting, knowing the materials at hand to be understood, and she was able to voice and express her concerns and her contribution, and made the change that she did make. We have seen her recently issuing press statement and capturing really the essence of what should be done, should be said in the circumstances. We must all be vigilant, and she has been able to demonstrate that vigilance by speaking to the authorities to remind them that indeed we are all subjects of the rule of law. We are all subjects of the Constitution. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that at any point can Faith shy off from that responsibility, irrespective of how heavy or how frequent the high-handedness may come about. So that I know, and because I have seen her before in action, I know she has demonstrated her strength even in the recent past, and I believe nothing is about to change in as far as her steadfastness is concerned. in helping the government in as far as administering justice is concerned by speaking truth to the government and offering the legal opinion and advisory necessary to uphold the rule of law.